It's time for me to. Okay, this lighting is awful. Woke up on the right side of the bed. That's my ankles cracking. I don't know if you could hear that. Oh my god, there's a ring on the ground, but it's just stupid. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I don't know what to do. My back really fucking hurts. Oh, hello. Okay, we're under my desk right now. Under my desk. Okay, I just watched A Real Pain. I hope this lighting isn't too fucking insane. I actually think it might be. I think I just need to, like, let it be one thing. I like the green. We did green last time. We'll do green again. This is me after watching A Real Pain. Man, there are definitely gonna be spoilers. You should give it a watch. If you don't want to, that's okay too. It's not like, I feel like it's not a movie you, like, need to see. Although, I don't know. I think it's definitely worth seeing. Like, it's really good, and I feel like my perspective on the Holocaust is kind of just shifted a little bit because I really like appreciate the way that it dealt with the topic. Like, for one part, like, just to state first off, I really liked how it didn't glorify or make this sort of beauty out of the Holocaust sort of thing. It really felt like it was like, hey, this is just a shitty fucking place. Like the concentration camps when they went there and stuff. This is an awful environment, and I feel like the word awful has developed a sort of like romantic like undertone to it, like the sort of, like the tortured poet kind of thing. God, I can't believe that Taylor Swift has wrecked her way into that saying, because now all I can think of is tortured poets department, but like the tortured poet kind of like aesthetic, like the sufferer and stuff. And I feel like it's really easy to put this sort of aesthetic, like rose-colored lens over the top of any sort of suffering that we mention or talk about or see in life. This sort of like along with that is like a sort of view of like suffering is some sort of like grand thing that makes someone's better off after they suffer, like, whereas I feel like that only accounts for a specific type of suffering. Like, okay, I'm going on a tangent about suffering, but it only really accounts for a specific type of suffering, like some sort of suffering that you can learn from, some sort of suffering that triggers growth, like, I don't know, the death of a pet or something, like, that makes you able to handle other things. But it's sort of like the death of a pet, you might be better off in one sense, but you might not be better off in another sense, like, and other suffering like depression, it's hard to see how someone can be better off after being depressed. Maybe you learn something after being depressed. Okay, I'm actually going on a full tangent, and I don't think this is not what we're here for. I have things that I want to say about this movie. It's going to be very convoluted and not linear the way that I'm gonna say my thoughts, because when is it ever? I shouldn't need to preface that. You know what the expectations are. If you're not familiar, what's up? Nothing much. This is what you're here for. This is what you can expect if you're not from around these parts of town, these outskirts. Basically, yeah. It stung. I heavily related to David. Holy shit. That was insane. I didn't cry. I wasn't close to crying, but it really it struck a chord. Trying so hard not to say A minor. Sorry. Kendrick Lamar, I was at the clubs last night and Kendrick Lamar was playing. Yeah, I went to the clubs again, okay? I had an event. I actually had a reason to go this time. I'm not a club rat, I swear. Yeah, anyway. Just maybe this will help. Okay. Oh, I actually really like the blue. Give me 1 second. Ding! There you go. That adds so like another layer of depth Have my blue lights on in the background. Slay! I love this. Okay, sorry. I know I'm talking about literally a devastating movie. It's really hot in here, and it's hard to like think when it's hot. Give me a second. Yeah, I don't do things how you usually do them. I set up while I'm recording. I begin the video and then I start setting up. That's just how I roll. You know what I mean? I actually think I'd make better videos if I do it that way, or if I just don't have any setup at all. Like, I feel like the content that I talk about is more engaging, or in depth, or interesting, to me at least. You can agree or disagree, I don't really give a shit. But when the tour guide said bye to Benji, and he said, like, you're an honest man, sort of thing, and, was really praising Benji after all the bullshit that he did. And then he said, thanks, Dave. It's just, okay, I have a lot of thoughts. A, I felt Dave's frustration the entire film. That, like, someone can just be such an ass, and it's almost like no one is, like, paying attention. Like, guys, this guy's not cool. He's not, he's charming and everything, but he's not cool. But the jealousy, the line that, like, I hate him and I love him and I want to kill him and I want to be him. Oh my god, I felt that so hard. I feel like that with like 90% of the people in my life. I feel probably not. No, I feel that with like sometimes not really to that extent, but like that jealousy, but that also like that resentment and that detestment and that disappointment, and it just like comes along and oh my god. But then it was also sort of like this triple backwards commentary on like, okay, well, Dave thinks that he's so put together and so, like, you know, he's got his wife and his kid, but it's, like, such a boring life. And it's such a stable sort of, like, he's just following the conventional way that you do life and stuff. And he's not acknowledging all of the pain and suffering that happens in the world the way that Benji does. And Benji has more meaningful connections with people because of that, you know? Let me just finish this part first, and then I have a second point. But he, like, Dave's sort of like this less interesting, less intriguing person because he's, you know, he's kind of more, not conservative's not the right word, like, not the word I'm looking for, but he's more sort of like, conventional and more, he follows it, he's by the book more, I guess, of like the way that you're supposed to do things and like, you know, like, polite society and social norms. Like, he tries to follow those a lot more closely, even though he's less charismatic and less socially adept than Benji is. But Benji he has a natural sort of social adeptness to him, but he doesn't practice appropriate socialization at all. The fucking belching in the middle of the restaurant and just being an asshole generally, but like there's something so real and raw about him that you can't help but just like love him. And like personally, I can't stand him because I relate to Dave, and he's just that character where you're so like kind of jealous of him, but like you kind of just hate him and you want him to get on his feet and stuff. And it's frustrating when other people like him more, I guess, than Dave. And so the first bit of commentary is saying like gives Benji the benefit of the doubt, or has Benji on the upper leg, or whatever the saying is. Like, he's above Dave in the sense that what I've just been saying, like, he's more interesting, he's more like almost like more in tune with life and with experience and emotions and stuff, and more connected, whereas Dave is sort of almost like more disconnected. But then, especially at the end, there's the other way around where it's sort of like Dave has the upper leg because he has a wife and a child. He has people who he can go back to and who he can love, and that ultimately is all that matters, are those people in your life, those soul people. And Dave is like Benji's only soul person, and so that's why he's so like Benji is so hurt that Dave doesn't go to see him. He goes and prioritizes his fucking family in New York. Yeah, exactly. He feels the things, but he knows how to deal with it and not like the oh my god, when Dave went on that rant of like Benji being so like all encompassing, like yeah, he might be this person that everyone else loves and everyone can deal with, but like Dave has to deal with him, sort of thing. And Dave's got his own shit going on that he wants to deal with himself, and he just wants to make his own life. He can't be that sole person for Benji, sort of thing, you know? And like, so Dave's sort of a more interesting character to me because I don't know, like, well, I don't know, I don't know if he's more interesting than Benji, but I don't know. I wished that everyone else had like given Dave more compassion, even though he was kind of not as, you know, charming as Benji. That's that fucking when he was like, I wish you could. Do you see what happens when you walk into a room and the room lights up and then you shit all over it? I think this is like the key kind of distinction between David and Benji is they are opposites, kind of, in the sense that Benji. Okay, hear me out. We've got two columns, right? No, we've got two columns and two rows. We've got Benji and Dave. Benji, David, fuck, what is it? I feel like we've got maybe 4 rows. Give me a second. It's like socialization, right? Naturally good socially, and then built. And then like the the stuff you have to learn. The natural charm and the learnt social acceptance, I guess. Benji has all of this natural charm, but he has no social sort of standards, fucking, you know, the societal expectations, polite society. He doesn't have that. He doesn't do that. I don't think he believes in that and doesn't even try to engage in it. Whereas Benji, I mean, Dave has like no natural charm whatsoever. He's kind of just a shit to be around, even though he's much more, I guess, pleasant than Benji, but he's not as real with people. Like, he's not as upfront and straightforward, because I think that, I don't know, man, it's so hard to, I'm trying. I swear I have thoughts about this movie, dude. I don't know, I loved it though, I really did love it. It took me a second, it took until the dinner scene to really love it. Like, before that I liked it, but then the dinner scene where Benji goes off and stuff, like, with the anti-Semitic music and whatnot. This is me about to do quotations, not like the peace sign, I don't know. But he was saying like the music was like anti-Semitic, but the others were saying not quite, but I don't know anything about that. I'm not educated in that, so I can't really comment on it. That's when the movie started to get really interesting to me, and I started to really love the characters, and I loved that Dave got to express his words. I don't know, it was so well written. Oh my god, it was so well written. Like, the fucking guys on the balcony, you can't leave those stones there, like the old lady could trip. Just the way that was done. I don't know, I just loved it. Like, it was so simple and so like thought out. Like, yeah, it's these subtle things, right, that I just fall in love with in movies. Instead of getting straight to the point, or just being like, oh yeah, there could be someone on the balcony who says this, it's like, no, there's going to be a language barrier. It's like all these different things are considered, and there's going to be a guy who comes out to translate. And like the way that they deliver the lines, like he could be asking us for breakfast. He's come up here and have some fucking breakfast, and like just the way that different tones and I love it so much. This movie is like a lot of what I love about films and stuff. So yeah, it was really cool. I really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, Dave has a wife and a child to go home to, and that has so much meaning and so much purpose in it. And then Benji's just fucking around the airport and doesn't even really have a place to live. And it's like Benji is searching constantly for these like short bursts of happiness or emotion or feeling something or experience. He's like searching for these bursts of experience, but then when that goes out, he's just like back down. And that I think that was really fully fucking communicated. Sorry, I got a notification. My train of thought just bye, chuffed away. Okay, cool. Sorry, I just thought I said something else, and I was like, that. I think that's not actually a good word to use, but no, that's a different word. It rhymes, and I think I can say it. I am bi, but like, I'm not gonna say it. Slay. Oh, that could have been really bad. My desk is like right there, and I almost fucking just got concussed. Shit. But like the last a shot of the film really conveyed how Benji is sort of like this quick burn, and then this completely dissipating into this sort of nothingness state, this sort of like searching state, this sort of like fuck state, like, oh, I have nothing. Like his connections are more intense and real and raw and honest, and